seen from Book this spring? What were you hoping to see from him?
Vertically, throwing the football down the field with accuracy, confidence, movement in the pocket, all the things you saw today. Ball placement on back shoulder throws, and a little bit more air. We wanted more of a level 3 type ball. We felt like his balls were flat last year when he pushed the ball vertically. A little bit more air for our guys to adjust to the football. All the things that he's been improving on, and what we can see has been a nice step up for him.
Anything left on his checklist for the spring?
Oh, yeah, I think, we're adding some misdirection within the offense. We want to move some backers with some misdirection and open up some windows that we haven't, really got down to a science yet. So there's definitely some things there for him to improve on. I think, again, when it comes to just the patience in the pocket, we're seeing that, but we want to continue to work on all those things on a day-to-day basis.
How about his leadership skills?
Well, the quarterback in itself, obviously when he touches the ball, there has to be a confidence level. He displayed a confidence last year. He's not a vocal player in any way, but he carries himself really well. He's respected by the players. But I don't think he's taken over that. He's going to jump up in front of the group yet. Nor does he have to, to be seen as a leader. He's got a SWAT group, which he does a great job with. So by de facto as a quarterback, he's already, quote unquote, in a leadership position.
Frank, do you feel you have found a rover, or at least you can move forward with
Yeah, I think that's going to be continuously a position that's evaluated, but we know we've got some answers there, I think, more than questions. And so does that mean it's an over and done with? No, it's not. I think, there are other options for us there as we continue to vet out the linebacker position. But having some answers, we wanted some answers there when we left the spring. But the rover position is one that can be taught fairly quickly if you've got the right instincts. Yeah, I think so. I think Owusu had a nice day today. He was really good in leverage and tackling situations, other than when he didn't get the memo on thud versus tackle. But that's Jalen Elliott's fault. He's responsible for that. But look, I'd rather have that than he was looking for the flag, to play tag off. So again, I think both of them become an answer for us, but. I wouldn't say that that competition is over.
What's the situation with Luke Jones?
He's going to transfer. Yeah, he's seeking a transfer. We met earlier this week, and he feels like Notre Dame is not the best place for him.
Ryan, talk a little bit about Phil Corbett and what you've seen from him this summer.
I think the natural. Kind of evolution, if you will, of a quarterback that's kind of learning college football at the highest level. Some good days followed up with some not so good days. I think there's some more consistency in his throws, especially his perimeter throws. So I think we're seeing incremental improvement to the level that we're much more comfortable where we can give him more. We weren't giving him much until we saw at least, I don't want to say mastery, but at least a competency level at certain things before we were adding. We're beginning to add a little bit more with him. And I think we're feeling pretty good that he's making the progress. Everybody wants a finished product at that position, so you can say, hey, our 2 is, ready to lead us to a championship. He's not there yet, but he's making progress where we feel comfortable.
We saw Josh taking snaps at center. Is
Yes.
that a product of moving more reps at center with Luke gone?
Actually, we were doing that prior to that. Even with Luke here, we had him taking snaps last Tuesday, and we really liked what we saw there. So it was something that we wanted to continue to accelerate. So he'll continue to do that.
Is he still a guard first?
Yeah, I mean, he's not the, we didn't just say he's the backup center, but he's going to be a guy that could be first man in a number of different roles for us. He's going to be a guy that we feel comfortable that could possibly play a number of roles for us.
Earlier in the spring, from what we saw, Jonathan North seemed to be struggling, but seemed to find.
He's coming on. He's definitely finding a better rhythm. And again, I don't want to get into too much detail here, but he is a little long with his, his lever, and we were able to adjust his steps to the point where we feel like we've got something now of consistency in his approach to the football, and it seems to be something that he can repeat. And this is the nature of kicking, right? It's the ability to repeat that over and over and again. And so we're seeing some light there at the end of the tunnel for him, and good for him because he's working really hard at it.
Coach, we saw Crawford and Vaughn
Yeah.
and parts some hitting even in
They're getting there. They're getting there. Yeah. They factor in heavily in terms of, the fall. These are two guys that I told them if they're standing on the sideline with me against Louisville, I'll be very disappointed. I expect them to be competing and playing for us in some fashion. So they're both been in the program a long time. They understand the level of competition that we need to play at, and they're both anxious and they both want to get in there. So, and we think some of the things that we're doing is really going to benefit both of them, from a defensive back standpoint.
Vaughn almost need to get back this soon so he could weight train and everything. I mean, I'm sure a shoulder injury would have made it really hard on him all summer.
No doubt, no doubt. I think that he's done great, remarkable. I mean, in terms of where he is, showing great strength, and we feel like we're doing a lot of things with our defensive backs that are a bit new, and they're going through a transition there. But I think it's in the long run going to really help out Dante Vaughn.
Brian, what has Michael Young shown you this spring?
Michael, is a guy that was very cerebral when he came in here, thinking a little bit too much, worried about the peripheral and not focused enough on just take care of yourself, take care of, the basics of catching the football, turning upfield, and doing your job. And I think he's now settled into the level of confidence that he can do that every single play. And so we're starting to see that, catching the football, making plays, and that's what we saw from him in his senior year. We had his coaches up this week, and of course you get that unvarnished truth, after he's here for 3 years, hey, that's the way he was as a freshman, he was a little bit, worried about too many things, and then he really settled into focusing on just playing football, catching it, and making plays, and that's kind of what we're starting to see.
You got a lot of options there. Is he your best option, you think, at outside receiver?
I think there's going to be a combination. Kevin and Joe, you saw Joe make a really tremendous one-handed catch. Joe's coming on. Joe needs some, I guess the best word, I think he just needs to get in there and get boxed around a little bit more and get more snaps and get banged around and keep making some plays. And Joe just needs a little bit more confidence. And as he continues to grow, I think you're going to see him. So I think there's going to be a collection of guys that are going to be able to contribute outside. And he, along with Kevin and certainly Mike, all of those guys I think will contribute. And Braden was out today. He suffered a head injury, but he's had a great spring, and I expect him to contribute as well.
Fink is so strong for you in the slot.
Oh yeah.
He looks like you want to use him too.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't get enough recognition for what he can do as a receiver. I mean, he's a top-notch BCS college receiver in the slot. I mean, he can do virtually everything for you. He can catch screen passes, drive routes, option routes. He's a real weapon for us, and he's shown that as consistent as I can remember of having a slot receiver, true slot receiver.
What's your approach in the final week of spring? What do you want to see leading into
You know, what I want is everybody to take accountability for where they are, be hard on themselves, be demanding when we come back on Tuesday, that we have a high bar. You know, we played for a championship last year. The expectations here are to play for championships. And so a sense of urgency next week individually to continue to work on their individual crafts. Let's not worry about, you know, other players and other things other than their development continuously in the weight room, their technique, how they fit within the 11, and then their preparation, you know, how they prepare. So really just focusing on themselves these next few, and then really have a competitive spring game.
Claypool seems to really challenge himself going against Pride all the time.
Yes.
How do you assess his spring?
Outstanding, competitive. The one thing that held Chase back just a little bit is that we would see 3 or 4 of those plays, and then maybe a bit of a drop off. He'd get tired, fatigued, banged up, my elbow's sore, whatever. He has now reached a new mental toughness level where he can do that play in and play out. And, you know, I grabbed Troy after, you know, Troy was, you know, a bit down. I said, Troy, listen, that's the life of press at corner. You know, you're going up against that kid could be a first-round draft pick. And so these are the kind of days that certainly you want to win some of those matchups, but they're only going to make you better. So let's look at your technique. Let's find out things that you could have done better, but let's have a better day when you get out here on Tuesday, because you're going up against an elite receiver.
One more, because I don't think I'll ever ask him. The walk-on corner, Agoro, you guys really seem to be coaching him up to.
Yeah. We really like his physicality off the ball. As you know, we're spending a lot of time on press. You know, we gave up a lot of free access throws last year, which we did some great things structurally, defensively, which we're not changing, but some things that we're adding are to take away some free access throws, and press is going to allow us to do that. Timmy gives us a really physical presence there, and so we want to spend some time with him because he's shown a real good proclivity to be a press corner in certain situations, so we're spending some time with him. He's taken a lot of reps, and this kind of coverage really will allow him to be a guy that you know, can be part of the depth.
Right, at the beginning of the spring, you talked about leadership emerging. How are you evaluating that? What characteristics are you really looking at?
Yeah, it's simply, you know, for us more than anything else is holding each other accountable to the standards that we have within our program, and that is, one, from a football standpoint, you know, are they doing the things necessary for us to continue to be part of, you know, the championship you know, program that we're putting together here, and holding guys accountable, doing the little things right every day, the attention to detail that is required in the classroom, in the locker room, making good choices and good decisions. So, you know, that's how we focus our team. And I know you hear this all the time, but that's our process. You know, we can't think about, you know, wins and losses and things like that. We really have to focus on, you know, the little detail things, because that's what will get us the success that we want.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, thanks.